Good morning. It's Friday, July 1st, the start of the July 4th weekend, where we expect to see 42 million on the roads. But I'm not here to talk about the millions of people who are going to try and find a place to have a good time this 4th of July weekend. I want to talk about Governor Kathy Hochul and her fight to take on the Supreme Court. Because of the Supreme Court's ruling on the carry law, on the gun carry law in New York State, which they overturned, Kathy Hochul called a special session of the state legislature to work on a brand new gun control law. And this gun control law will list the places where you can't carry a gun. Even if you have a legitimate permit, you will not be able to carry a gun in these specific places. And this is just the start of a major fight against this Supreme Court and the gun violence that is going on in this country. So as far as Governor Hochul is concerned, and as far as the governors of many other states who she has been in contact with, they are against the gun situations that exist in this country. And so Kathy Hochul and her team are working on putting in place the fact that you cannot carry a gun into a school, you cannot carry a gun into a subway station, or into a subway train, or onto a bus, or into a crowded restaurant, or into an arena like Madison Square Garden or something, and other sensitive places like hospitals, and of course government buildings. And the list may go on and on and on. I don't know how many more places you can have. But she is going to make it very difficult to carry a gun, even if you have the permit. Now, I understand that puts a lot of pressure on law enforcement because they can't search everybody. But if you get caught with a gun in these places, then you will face severe penalties. Those penalties probably haven't been completely outlined yet. But I think Hochul's doing the right thing. We have to attack this gun issue and get around the ridiculous findings of this new Supreme Court. And so Kathy has instituted a couple of other measures that you need. First of all, you got to be over 21 before you can buy an assault rifle. And then secondly, she plans to have in-house training, in-house gun training of 15 hours of personal gun training before you can get a gun in New York, before you have permission to buy a gun. That includes time on the shooting range. And in addition to that, she's going to add many rules around firearm storage in the home and in vehicles. That's never been done before, as far as I know, telling people how to store their guns at home. And then, of course, she's put a lot of pressure on the ghost gun industry. In New York City, they have captured many ghost guns, and the fight will continue. The object of taking guns off the street is a major New York City police activity. So these restrictions are probably going to help the situation. And I can tell you from the recent stats that New York gun violence, even though it seems like it's still going crazy, has actually gone down in New York and in New York City. But going down may not be enough. It certainly isn't enough. So this is going to be a long fight to come to the conclusion of a somewhat sane environment. Because think about this. They have businesses that say you are not allowed to come into my offices with a gun. That would be tremendous, a tremendous effort. If department stores and other places like that where you shop, supermarkets, wouldn't allow you in the store with a gun, that would certainly help the gun control situation. And interestingly enough, in Louisiana and in South Carolina, gun carry states, but they still do not allow you to carry a gun into some private place, like somebody else's house or something like that. So imagine that New York also puts this into their laws. It's tremendous. These are tremendous strides against the gun violence in this country and against the stupid Supreme Court. So I applaud Kathy Hochul and the state legislature for this very strong way to address the new risks created by the court. And this is a way that fits into the framework the court has put forward about what a constitutional set of gun laws look like. But I am sure with this court and with Clarence Thomas leading the way that they will misconstrue anything, just as they misconstrued the 14th Amendment, which talked about equal protection, but that had no relationship to guns or anything like that. Equal protection was equal protection. If you were black, you were white, you were green, you were yellow, you were entitled to the same protection under the law. It did not mean that because you were somebody, you equally could all carry a gun. But in Thomas's perverted explanation, his perverted interpretation of these laws has put this country in dire straits when he has a team of followers who can't think for themselves and can't understand how they have misinterpreted the Constitution. So Hochul and several other governors are going to put up the good fight. And maybe the Supreme Court will wake up and understand how poorly they have managed this entire gun situation, along with other things. So I leave you with that this morning, and have a great day. Enjoy the weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.